Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Talking Skritt. I'm your host John, better known as Dare on Yak's Ben. We fantastic show for you. Arena Anniversary livestream revealed some interesting news. Players get more space with novelties, balance patch with a new PvP rank season, and much more. But first, let me introduce you to my fellow hosts. He is a moderator over at MMO Champion and hosts Zero to Hero on this channel and also Vote to Kick. It is criminal that Guild Wars 2 is only 6 years old. Here is the 10 years more. Say hello to Jim.
That's getting into like World of Warcraft territory for age on an MMO. I kind of like to see that for Guild Wars.
Yeah, WoW killer, right?
No.
Oh, I thought that's what you meant.
No. No.
What? WoW, Bless killer. Can we just
Bless? That's beating a dead MMO. So let's not do that.
Oh. All right, and he streams over on Twitch where he answers the age-old question with this balance update: who's a happy thief? Who's a happy thief? Say hello to Age.
I'm a happy thief. You're also a happy revenant, I hope. But we'll get into it. I think this is a good balance patch.
Ooh, spoiler alert! People are liking the balance patch. And she's an editor at Guildmag, writes for MMORPG.com, and also her own site, MMORly.com. We have been doing this roar joke the whole time. Maybe we need to change it up. You could say the novelty is wearing off.
Oh
say
my
hello
god.
to Robin.
Roar!
She did it!
I was actually planning on roaring no matter what, so.
And I did one where I was talking about ending it. Way to ruin everything. Well, let us jump right into it. So, the Guild Wars 2, this past week, for people that maybe have played since the actual launch, has turned officially 6 years old. So, if you played at launch, if you still have your characters around, we've talked about all that stuff last week of the stuff that you could get since early access could have got it earlier. Weird how that works. So if you want to watch all that stuff, all the goodies that you'll get out of that, but they did have some, so watch last week's show, but they have had some pretty awesome announcements and blog posts. Actually, I don't even want to call them announcements, but they were like kind of like teasers of announcements. Like, these are things that are coming down the road. And I'm like, oh my God. So, yeah. So they were doing a live stream this past Friday, based on the anniversary, kind of just going back reminiscing, and they had a bunch of different devs on. It was pretty cool to see, kind of parading, I don't want to say everybody out, but you know, it had a good sizable chunk. But also during the week they had like a little blog post, and they actually had a video that was like kind of talking about like the history with the season, the Living Story seasons, and they kind of showed that off. I do have the small clip of it, but and that will be playing there. But have you guys watched the little video or the anniversary episode of?
I watched the little video, but I didn't see guild chat. I was busy running around all day yesterday. The video was awesome.
There's just so much to unpack with that video.
Yeah, little video majority of Tuesday's anniversary live stream.
Oh, what's that?
I watched a majority of the live stream they had on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get a chance to watch Guild Chat.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, like I said, and it also happened in this like little video that they showed off. There was one little line, and it hasn't happened yet, but that kind of, I know a lot of people latched on to. And it was I think it was Mike Z who actually said like Living World Season 4 will go right into Season 5. So
yep.
I guess that means we are not having an expansion after Season 4. I mean,
I'm okay with that.
That's cool. Yeah, I was going to say, I'd been thinking about for a while that if the new pattern was going to be a season, an expansion, a season, and an expansion, that would really make us get to the point with the number of elite specializations we have getting absolutely ridiculous really quick. Plus, really, really feel strongly that I only want new elite specs when they have really strong, good ideas for each profession, not because they're trying to fill in something in their like timeline of when things are supposed to be rolling out. I don't want them to get in a point where they're like, all right, we have an expansion coming up. What can we do for Elementalists? Oh, who knows? Let's just make it dual wield focus or something.
Can I have a longbow? Please.
So I don't know. I'm pretty happy with that, not necessarily going into another expansion and not having one eminently. Plus, the other thing is so far the expansions have both introduced new movement styles. So, like, what are they going to do for the next one? Like, we got mounts, we got gliding.
Do you think that's why they made season 5 next? Because they're like, we need more time. What are we gonna do? Like,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
A submarine.
Dual Warhorn Ellie. Yes, that's it.
A boat.
Then the other thing is like Heart of Thorns, I think was out for 2 years. Had a 2-year runtime for Heart of Thorns, I believe.
Yeah.
A large chunk of that was the 6 to 8 months from release leading up to the April update. That completely basically revamped a lot of the Heart of Thorns release content.
Yeah.
So we didn't have that this time. It's just Path of Fire released, and
it was
the maps were the maps, and it was fine.
Well, they also were in a situation where there were all the maps and everything had legitimate problems to them, like that they needed to go fix. The Heart of Thorns, like a lot of the foundation was solid, but the implementation and the way some things happened was just off of it. It's one of those things like I kind of wonder if maybe they were rushed on getting Heart of Thorns out a bit, because if you remember before Heart of Thorns, we kind of had a year drought of content where we didn't really have anything new. So I wouldn't be surprised. Huh?
We had silver waste farming.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was pressure on them to get Heart of Thorns on maybe more quickly than they really could have done it. Whereas with Path of Fire, it was more direct. They started the way they formatted the development and all that. We had content to do while we were waiting for it. Things were going on. So I think they were able to get the expansion in a better state before they released it.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And kind of like, since we're still in the like amount of episode topics, I know when we first talked about it, I saw someone in chat saying like they feel like the season 4 is only going to be 4 episodes, which we just had episode 3, which and I think at the end of this video or at some point they kind of say we can't wait for the second half, like so something tells me it's gonna be at least 6 episodes. Who knows if that meant we already reached the halfway point, or
well, we have 3 episodes, right? Or
yes,
4?
We just finished. Yeah.
And season 3 was 6 episodes, right?
Oof,
I feel like I remember that because that's what
yeah, season 3 was 6 episodes.
Okay, because my guess at the beginning of the season was that it would be about 6 episodes long. So, I mean, it would put that in line with it. It might be longer, but I would say if we're not at the midpoint this one, we maybe have one more before the midpoint,
And I guess that I was misremembering. It's at the end of the infographic, which we'll show off in a little bit, is where they talk about it being this, can't wait for the second half. So.
I am 100%. I don't believe they need to keep to arbitrary episode counts.
No, but at the same time, if 6 is a good number for them to build a story arc, then I'm fine with them keeping that.
Especially because I think during that the little blog, the little video, I think I forget who said it, but they were actually saying we kind of figured out a formula during season 4 of how to kind of just plug the information, I think it's actually happening here. The video that's hitting right now is they start to really learn the kind of how fast they need the story arc to be in a branch. So yeah, I think we might be seeing a pretty consistent around there 6 episodes or whatever the season will end up being.
I mean, the other thing is like there's always more things that they want to include than they can include. Like there's so much breadth in the game of things that they can have. Yeah. That, you know, I think even if they aren't strict about 6 episodes, but keeping it around there is probably a good idea, because you also don't want to see a season bloated with a lot of episodes that are just kind of like, oh.
Like fixing signs.
Yeah. Oh my god, I talked about that in my article.
I saw that. I got shivers. I was like, nah.
Well, Netco, that's the other thing is, and Mithrin, that's a cynical view of it, is not having the entirety of Path of Fire 2 next expansion be season 4. That is definitely a cynical view of it, is that it would be too big a package on the gem store. And there is some probably consideration thrown that way, but I feel like season 4 is going to tell a story. There's going to be a beginning, middle, end, and then it will be that encapsulates a plot, and then the next bit will happen, and it'll
lead in. It'll probably lead
in.
I
was gonna say, I think like it's based off of how what chapter of the story we're going to be in, because I have a feeling with the end of this season we're maybe going to see maybe the ramifications of what happened in episode 3, and of basically toppling a figurehead and all that stuff. It's
one of those things where I'm fairly certain that
go ahead.
Path of Fire will lead into dealing with Kralkatorrik, and that's the end of this expansion plus living story seasons, however many seasons.
That makes sense
to do it.
Yeah, and it could take them, depending on what they have planned, who knows how many seasons to do it. But like I like that what they seem to be doing is each season is a small, like not a small, but like a contained plot line, a story arc, where you're doing that, and where there might be things that go off, and like they threw us a bit of a monkey wrench because because I thought going into the season that the whole story arc for this season would be dealing with Joko. So like now I'm at okay, well, what's the rest of the season? So I can understand how it might feel weird, but I feel like once we get to the end of the season, looking back, it will be a clear, concise story arc, and it'll make sense at that point.
Well, we did just kill a longtime leader who had a pretty big cult of personality following.
And fed it to a dragon that...
No, we did not feed him to her. She just
I mean, how are their subjects going to perceive it? And basically, we fed it to a dragon that is basically the offspring of the thing that's just been terrorizing everybody locally. How are we going to be,
Well, I'm concerned about how like the Lonians are going to react to that, because they're like, wait, you have a pet dragon and she's eating people now? What?
Not like, well, just undead. Yeah, just bad people. Are you a bad people?
Don't make me angry. You'll be a bad person.
Just concerning the seasons bit. I don't think it's a bad thing. Just for it's been mostly said overall. It's just better overall when you're going into an expansion. But I also think it's because you can also test out features like a little bit at a time. Because as you can see in Living World episodes, especially this season, that they put out little things. They try to test out and they see if people like it or not. And so that can also play into features that we see in the expansion. I also agree with the elite specs. Balance will get way too hard, way too crazy, way too fast. And it's especially hard right now the way it is. So it gives them time to actually spread out. And even then, they don't necessarily have to have an elite spec every expansion, but they kind of have to compensate for it somewhere else.
I think they've already built it. Like if they decide to do an expansion without another elite spec, it will take some explanation and some
I could see already
small thing, because that's the expectation right now.
Yeah, I could already see people saying, so basically you're making us pay for Living Story, because just as a pre-prepared bundle. Like I could already see the internet saying that about it.
Yeah, and that's why you need to have some sort of trade-off in that case. If you're going to have elite specs, you're going to have to do something else, obviously. but I highly doubt they'll do that. I think it's overall pretty good. It gives them a better. And also, I think for the story wise, I think they're definitely taking the story in a different direction. They're trying to transition, and that's why I feel like some people think the story's kind of not as good as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they're trying to transition the story into a different direction, and that takes time. You can't just immediately do it, like was mentioned. So
you have to lay the foundation for that.
I think the second half might be interesting in the sense I'm starting to think about it is like we said, the people are gonna see we have a pet dragon that's eating people now, and we know that we have to keep the dragons alive, otherwise things go into chaos. So basically, we're telling people that we've recently protected, no, you can't kill the dragons that are trying to kill us. And it's like, wait, I thought you were the good guys. Like, now we might be actually seen as like maybe the Jokos or something, like the evil.
Like we're filling the vacuum.
Yeah, which might be an interesting take, and it might go back to what Joko was kind of saying to us before things happened.
Before other things happened.
Because we aren't killing dragons.
Well, he's saying, so we've made this big deal about how you can't kill dragons, and now our dragon has eaten somebody, and who knows if she'll eat somebody else. So, like, it could be seen like we're using the dragons for our own devices, essentially.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, and you're saying people were smart enough to understand the concept of the dragons being needed. I mean, that depends on how they're going to write the general public, because, I mean, some people still follow Cormyr. There was the Cormyr Temple.
Yeah.
People are still waiting for the gods, and I don't know if, are they going to believe us from the stuff that happened in POF? I mean,
like, we literally just talked to Cormyr. She said no, they're gone, and they'd be like,
don't believe you. Yeah. The other thing is like, there's a difference between, like, I feel like the leaders in Alonia mostly trust us and believe us for now, but that doesn't say anything about the general populace. Like, how things come across to them could be completely different, because again, most of them never would have met us. They just at most have seen us from afar and heard.
I was going to say, will the leaders of like in the Alonian areas,
I was saying more until this point, more or less, they have been kind of trusting.
Well, I was gonna say, with Amnoon, with the most recent living story, we basically convinced them to not worry about this Asuran that was carrying the plague. Like,
yep.
And that kind of spawned things in the city. Like, I don't know, we might have kind of backed ourselves into a corner of running out of goodwill.
I was saying, until this point, they've trusted us. Like, we could convince them. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some backlash related to that as well. Like,
I mean, technically, we did get rid of Joko, and that was a major issue in of itself. So, I think we'll still be trustworthy.
Oh, I think we're trustworthy, but that doesn't necessarily mean people will trust us.
Oh, I meant like I still think because we got rid of a big threat like Joko, I think the people will still trust us.
Maybe.
That's also only half the people. What about the people that were under his rule and were fine with it?
It depends how high it goes, actually.
Yeah,
that's my thought.
That has multiple sides, because it's not just the people who are under his rule and are fine, but what happens to all the undead things? Are they still...
Well, I thought, and I don't think it was shown, but I thought at the end of the story they said that they were just kind of not moving. I could be wrong. I thought at the end of the last episode they were saying they were just like I don't want to say empty husks, but just kind of like...
Well, it's like they had
where
Joko directing them and they lost the direction. So now they're just kind of standing there waiting, I guess.
There always has to be a Joko.
Jesus.
Okay, Monica's saying they were just dazed. Yeah, I was gonna say I remember there was like one little line like of someone saying that, like when everybody was running in, saying like, "Oh, they all just stopped," or.
I'm pretty sure Timmy said that when she came in before. She was like, "Oh my God, what is she eating?"
Oh, that was still great. Yeah, honestly, Zacharyox, I think that's my thoughts of why we would maybe the Order of Shadows might be the only allies we have in Alona at a certain point, because we did deal with Joko, maybe not by their standards. We don't know their standard, but granted, they might be fine with it because they separated from the Order of Whispers because the Order of Whispers weren't action oriented. They were more like intel. Go ahead.
The thing is, taking that into account, because the Order of Shadows is more focused on action, and the fact that they were taking things slow with Joko makes me wonder if they know something about what would happen if he just did actually die or didn't exist, and if it was a bad thing or something.
He was half dragon. We're like, great.
If there was something along those lines, they could be pretty teed off with us for killing him.
It's one of those things though where it's like, oh, suddenly Joko's like, by the way, Scarab Plague. I kind of feel like that's re-releasing the Scarab Plague is something that I don't think anybody would have been okay with. Just gonna throw that out there. Yeah. Actually, I like Magnus's idea that Koss will take control of the Awakened.
I really do like that idea. That
would be really cool. Just to hear the voice actor do more work, because he did a fantastic job.
And it's kind of fitting because a lot of like the high, like their elite guards were corrupted Sun Spears, so it would be kind of fitting of like a return of these like Sun Spears, kind of like in a corrupted, like the old school Sun Spears.
Maybe he gets to be a primary NPC in our new little.
I was gonna say we might want to move on because we're kind of getting into the lore hole here, and this is literally the first topic. But I do want to talk about basically what you're hinting at is, and it's actually right on the screen just a second ago, was a new personalized character instance called Sun's Refuge, and they don't say outright, but I don't know if they did they confirm it during one of the live streams? I'm trying to remember, but it does definitely seem like it's based off the Guild Wars 1 area, the Sunspear Sanctuary, but I wasn't sure if they ever fully confirmed it the later.
It makes the most sense.
But
I'd just like to say this was our idea.
If it
the longest time,
the Guild Hall of Dragon's Watch, I will take not full credit for this.
We can only claim it if there's like you have to remove everybody. You have to remove the capture it for your own. If it's overrun by a bunch of Skritt trying to steal everything from it, then I think we could take credit.
Yeah, but still, like we thought about like a new personalized home instance where we can customize and things like that, or like the Dragon Watch Guild Hall. So I'm actually really happy that they're going to do it, and it has a lot of potential. So I'm optimistic about what it can be, and I think also it can utilize scribing, so it's not only like a personal thing and a guild thing as well. So.
It would be really nice if they could utilize a lot more of the Guild Hall tech in the game.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be a really good idea to take that and propagate it outward to just honestly make it more visible as a mechanic. So
and like chat's saying, they said you can upgrade it. Does that mean it's a personal instance or more like a personal stronghold, which I think they're relating it kind of to what is it, WoW's stronghold type things, and other games, of course. But
I'm thinking it's more on the lines of not exactly garrisons in WoW, but because I don't think they'll ever let us have like certain NPCs in there. But
well, it did say NPCs.
Yeah,
but not main ones or big ones.
I doubt we're going to get crafting. We're going to get trading access, but basic merchants, maybe some specialized merchants. Perhaps NPCs that we can send out on missions that have a timer on them. Like,
oh no,
just gathering shit. Like, I realized people didn't like that about the
Go
garrison.
farm silver waste for me.
Yes, actually.
all right, if we can do that, that would be worthwhile.
You can stick a stack of keys on them, and they'll come back and like, oh, depending on how many keys, it'll be like, I'll be back in like 4 hours if you put on a couple stacks on them. Be like,
give them 2 keys. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Like,
I'm not even
seriously?
going. Screw you.
Why?
The
Give
waypoint costs alone are gonna be outweighing that. Because if you think about it, you're on the other side of the map.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
That would be Aaron's dream.
Yes.
Well, I'm very optimistic about it. Probably, I guess we might claim it in a living story episode, maybe.
That would make sense since they kind of hinted it was coming out during this season, it seems like.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I have heard some people saying they're going to, like, and there's been no confirmation either way, but it's like they're giving us another home instance type thing so they can give us more stuff from the gem store, which I won't be surprised if there's things.
Yes. We'll talk about novelties in a bit, but like chairs are going to be a thing that you're going to sell, obviously.
Mm-hmm. More cats.
Yeah. More cat. Oh, boy.
They're like, your home instance is getting too crowded. We need a new one for more cats.
Please, no.
I don't
were you
know.
gonna say something?
I don't know. Like, I still wish that like the actual home instance could be upgraded, but I don't know how old that tech is, and I don't know how much it would take to fix.
What do you mean, like upgraded? Like make it bigger or something?
Basically, make it a personal guild hall. Because like all of those nodes and everything, like one of the trees from the lumber node package that they had on the gem store was in the same place as the crate obelisk when they first released it.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know, because it's also, I mean, it's instance, so like cerebrally you could probably make it as big as an instance can contain in the game. But at the same time, it's also supposed to be a section within like whatever your racial thing is. Like, it's a specific area. So to keep those two things in line, they could only expand it at
little side quest for a little current event for an Asuran lab for a mist stabilization portal where you create your own pocket dimension.
Here's another question I have. Can people visit this instance?
I am wondering that too, and I'm worried if it's going to be like the guild hall tech, where it's like as soon as you get, can you have more than 5 people, or is it going to be limited to like a party size? Or that's the one thing I hate about the guild hall. As soon as it gets over, like if you collect people there, as soon as it gets over 5 people, there's a new instance. I'm like, oh. And then it's like, hey, I gotta go. Yeah. No, don't leave. Don't. Oh, new instance.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want tier 8 cribs.
That'd be cool, especially if there's decoration and stuff. Yeah, that would be an awesome segment. But
I guess Alonian cribs in this case. But
oh, Red Wolf's already coming up with ideas to sell you stuff there. Harley. Corgis in the gem store.
They would have, if there was a Corgi anything, they have guaranteed 3 sales right here in this. Me, Arlie, and my wife just done.
And yeah, I agree with that. That is one drawback with the personal instances that Netco is saying about it. Kind of has to evenly happen to all 5, which I guess that's the problem, is trying to find areas that could be built up or whatever in all 5 that would make sense. Or
well, that's why I said the personal stabilized mist portal.
I think maybe with the new squad UI, or because the way the raids work, the raid portals work, is that the first person that goes in, everyone goes into that instance. So I was thinking it might be something along the lines of that tech. But I don't know how many people you can fit in there. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be a big thing to find out, I think.
That would be a weird thing to tie behind a commander tag. Hey, you want a bigger group to go into your home instance to see it? You have to have a 300 gold commander tag.
Well,
Or the Catmander.
Yes. But yeah, like I can't wait to hear more about this because yeah, it definitely seems like it's going to be the Sunspear Sanctuary. And I can't wait to hear what other things we get to actually place in there. Like you guys are suggesting I hope decorations, knock on wood here, but
bookshelf.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bookshelf would be awesome.
But yeah, I like the sounds of all that. But also with the anniversary, they put out an infographic, which kind of chopped it up so it's in kind of pieces because it's in a long strip, of course. So it was kind of hard to show off there. But yeah, some of the info here: 119,431.07 years of Guild Wars 2 played. Holy crap!
Yep. That's crazy.
Yeah. How much of that was just doing laps in Lion's Arch?
I was just about to ask that.
I want that special little infographic. The amount of time Deo has wasted.
Bog scale.
Oh yeah.
Poor Bog scale. I did see somebody saying, "I wonder who's getting killed by Bog scales," and somebody was like, "Probably a bot." Just standing around, and somebody else responded and said that it was probably just people randomly AFKing in a spot and the bog cell running up and killing them.
People AFKing for Shadow Behemoth.
But yeah, they put out 5 raid wings, 18 fractal dungeons, a lot of content, 37 living world episodes across 4 seasons. Lots of lines of dialogue.
Yeah. That's one of the things, so on the one hand, it feels amazing to me that the game has been out for 6 years because it does not feel that long. But when I started writing my retrospective article, I had to cut out a lot of stuff because I just really hadn't realized how much content we've gotten over the years. Just thinking about it, when I sat down and started thinking about it, it's a lot of stuff. And when you consider, like I mentioned before, between the end of Living Story 2 and Heart of Thorns, we had that year of nothing because it was just talking about what was coming in the expansion. So really it's been 5 years of actually getting content. They've put out a lot. It's crazy.
And to be honest, I'm going to be one of those people that say I'm kind of glad for that dead year of content because as somebody who basically played for the first 2 months and then left the game for 1.5 to 2 years, it gave me a lot of time to catch up on stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of appreciated that. Oh, it's the bog scale from Istan. It's not. This is just Long Live the Lich stuff.
Huh.
So that's even who's dying to the bog scale in Istan?
Right. What are you doing?
Still has to be AFK stuff.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
But I don't mind pauses in content just because there's always time it's always nice to have a bit of a breather to catch up on things. But I'm not gonna lie, I completely agree with you. There's a ton of content in this game.
And the other thing is with pauses in the gameplay, even outside of doing the story, there is so much to do in the game, whether it's getting achievements, working on legendaries, ascended gear, doing PvP, world versus world, or just exploring the zones. Even if you've map completed, you haven't necessarily seen everything that's in every single zone because there are NPCs that wander around and talk and that you won't necessarily encounter. So every map is just packed with so many discoverable things. There's a lot outside of just the straight story to do and find.
And Games Love and Life, that tracking data like that, developers are weird. They really like metrics. I've put trackers. I have put trackers on the weirdest goddamn things in the internal company website that I make.
Mm-hmm.
So you know stuff.
Exactly.
Well, it's like you never know exactly what data will end up being useful. So you track everything and then you look at it and go, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because to be fair, the data is still happening because it is software that is calculating this entity and this entity are, you know, messing with each other, and so I mean the data is already happening. It's just like they're saying whether they're you know, have something to track it. Or
talking about stuff that you might not find, you know, that in the general achievements tab where it shows, you know, X number out of Y areas you found in a given area of Tyria. I'm at 174 of 175 of the Shiver Peaks. I have no idea what section of the Shiver Peaks I have yet to unlock.
I hate that.
It doesn't have anything for map completion in it because I have map completion on my Elementalist. I don't know what I'm missing.
It's so that's happened to me on a couple of things. It's usually, you know, when they were doing the first season and some of the current events and stuff, they would add in a new like spot or area in the distant map. If you didn't go there after they added that, you don't have credit because it was added into the whole map completion. But
so have you ever gone into Cragstead? I think that's what it's called.
Is that the one where you find Bram at first? Yeah. I believe so, but I will walk back into there.
That could be one of the regions.
Because I think that's a POI now. And I had to walk in there to get it. The Griffin puzzle area. If it's a jumping puzzle, I think I've done that one.
Griffin Nook.
Yeah, it's the one with the time chest.
I'm going to have to... I'll write those down.
But yeah, that's always those things of like even hidden regions. I know one for me was in the Maguma area. It was basically the kind of nod back to Guild Wars 1, the mission with the Demigog. Where like you go there now, it's like all the spirits of White Mantle and Shining Blade. So, but yeah. Actually, that's a perfect transition. Thank you, chat. But yeah, actually, there was another announcement which was kind of interesting, but it's a bubble tea promotion, and for people that don't know, it starts actually today if you're watching this live, September 1st at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and ends September 30th at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, in celebration of the 6th anniversary of ArenaNet's Guild Wars 2, one of the best-selling MMORPGs of all time. The developer is partnering with national bubble tea retailer Kung Fu Tea on a month-long in-store and online promotion during September. So basically throughout the month, you basically have to download their app, and I think connected to your social media, so it has to be, I think they listed it here. What was it? Sorry. I think it was like kind of standard stuff of like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Like it has to be one of those. You don't have to do all three. Oh, chat is saying people are saying not to do it. It only works for people selling the keys in eBay. Oh,
now Eric,
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when people say don't do it, are they saying why? Because it's one of those things where it's like, I can understand, you know, hey, don't do that. It's just, you know, stupid corporate marketing, man. And I'm just like, gaming is stupid corporate marketing, man.
I would understand if, I think it wouldn't surprise me if you have to give the app permission on your social media to access
that's my one
info and stuff like that.
Probably.
I never like when they have that stuff, but that is a common thing of
it's one of those things where it's like you're basically saying that another company can sell your contact information.
Yep. And
yeah, that sucks, but like that's one of the 300 that can already do it with your information. So it's a matter of, does an outfit matter to you?
Yeah, and basically it looks like it's the Guild Wars 2 logo shirt that like they had at like conventions early, like pre Guild Wars 2. Looks like it's that same outfit. Now I think they do have a chance, like if you buy one of their drinks. So all that's like if you want to get the shirt and stuff, that you don't have to actually purchase anything.
Yeah, you just get it from linking it, right?
Yeah, but I think if you purchase one of their drinks, I forget what it was, a specific one or a specific couple. It was customers will have the chance to try the Elder Dragon Dreamy Delight, a delicious Guild Wars 2 twist on Kung Fu Tea's Cocoa Cream Wow. So basically I think that gives them a chance to get the Guild Wars 2 Heroic Edition. The Heroic Edition is the unique set of armor, which were kind of like the 3 armors. Well, I was gonna say, we're all 3 from Guild Wars 1. Actually, while you guys talk about that, hold on 1 second.
Wow.
Hounds of Balthazar were off cooldown.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know what he was asking.
Well, I just want to know. This is one of those marketing things where it's like, how do you know this will work? Who are you aiming for?
To be honest, bubble tea places have been popping up in a lot of places, especially near colleges.
Yep.
Like it. It's delicious. I don't know if you heard my wife uttering that. We went to the Carnegie Museum of Art here in the U.S., here in Pittsburgh recently. We were walking around with friends, and we stopped at a bubble tea place on the way back to the car. And it was, I think it was a chai. It was delicious. It was just great to have a place to stop and grab that. If you're okay with a company having access to social media stuff, go for it. That's fine. Whatever.
Yep.
If you're not okay with it, don't do it. It's just an outfit in a game.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
pixels.
Pixels.
Yeah, I've tried bubble tea so many times and I don't like it at all. It's just,
Do you get it with or without the bubbles?
I have tried it both and I mean,
Really?
without the bubbles, it might as well, like, I don't understand. And like the bubbles are just gross. So like the whole thing, I'm just like, no, I'll just drink regular tea. Thanks.
It's just not your thing.
No, it's not for me. Not
That's
at
fine.
all. It's kind of like sushi. I really wanted to like sushi and I've tried it a number of times in a number of varieties and just can't do it.
It's like, I've looked into this. Eric is saying that according to Reddit, it looks like they fixed the problem. It wasn't working for people before. So it's probably just an interaction issue. Mafongo Jones, bubble tea. It's tea with. If you've ever had tapioca pudding, it's literally like it's the tapioca pearls, but they're bigger. Or boba. Or taro root. Okay.
Tapioca is the worst.
My wife is the authority on fancy drinks. She's pretty stoked beforehand, and she's the one who actually keeps up on this. I'm either drinking diet sodas or water, and that's really about it for me. So,
yeah, I think the bubbles are my main issue because it's like, to me, I know it's not, but like mentally, there's a part of me that's like, it's like having little plastic capsules in your tea, and I don't understand.
There's something solid in this liquid I'm drinking. This
right.
is
Yeah, it's not supposed to be like this.
Yeah, most of the time I get it without bubbles. But sometimes I'll do bubbles.
Yeah, it's usually like think of it like if you like gummy candy, like you've had Gushers, right?
Yeah, I love Gushers.
It's basically the thing. It's just there's less candy and more juice. So it's kind of one of those things where you drink the tea, you get the tea flavor, you break open the bubbles, you chew them, and it's just like gelatin, but then there's a different flavor in there to either complement or work against or like contrast. That's the word I was looking for. The flavor of the tea. As I whack my mic, my apologies. It's if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. It's fine. So
yeah, it seems like.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say for the seems like you just need for the sweepstakes, you need to buy the drink, but for the download content, you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
And it's open to everyone, while the sweepstakes is for the States. So lucky you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder if Deo got lost dealing with his dogs.
He had to assemble a raid team. They turned into raid bosses.
I see.
Speaking of a raid boss dog, we were driving home from the gym this morning, and there was a Great Dane in the back of a convertible.
Was the top down?
Yes.
Oh my god.
One of those harnesses with the strap to.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was probably the ears were inside out, and he was just the happiest dog in the world. As Deo grabs the rum.
Not Deo.
Oh, that's not
yeah,
Deo.
it's because that's not Deo.
I was like, wait, wait, that's not Deo. I saw the hat, and I'm like.
Well, initially I was like, he wasn't wearing a Red Sox jersey before.
I wonder why he changed his shirt, but okay. Somebody grabs the rum.
Oh, we just saw Deo get robbed.
I'm fairly certain that was someone in his family.
I'm sure.
Move on to the free stuff from the gem store.
Oh, okay.
To take over this for Deo, novelty selection box with the choice of any item from the toys category in the gem store is available at no cost for 2 weeks only. So open up your gem store, go to the promotions tab. You should see a novelty box there for a cost of 0 gems. What did you guys? This is only available to players with Core, Heart of Thorns, or Path of Fire accounts, so no free accounts. My apologies.
Yeah.
What did you guys get?
Haven't yet.
Oh, you're still just have it sitting there in your inventory.
Yeah. I'm like,
I got the loot.
You got the loot.
You weren't too bad off because he was wearing a red shirt.
Wearing a red shirt. See, that's
it wasn't too bad. We just saw you get robbed, Deo.
Oh, where's your Red Sox shirt?
Somebody in a Red Sox shirt came and stole your rum.
Oh.
Like I thought
I'd be more pissed
because I saw red and I'm like, oh hey, Deo's getting the rum. I wonder what happened.
Someone stopped by and I guess they took a bottle of rum while I was...
But
so anyway,
we were just talking about the free novelty item.
Yes.
We moved on from that. So what did you get, Deo?
I have not even logged in this week, unfortunately.
Oh my god, Deo.
Oh.
But there's the UI. I mean, it looks pretty much the same for anyone that's... I know, I'm bad at it. I'm bad at gaming.
I picked up the bass guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Because I honestly have been looking at picking that up as a musical instrument on my account for a while now.
Yeah.
I hope they get an actual guitar in at some point, like a regular guitar, not just a bass. Mm-hmm. And then they need a drum kit. And then I think they have a keyboard already.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start a band.
Exactly.
I need to find my harp because I know I have the harp, but I don't know what tune it's on to add it to the novelties thing. I'm like,
Just log into every character.
I was working on that.
Well, I was going to say, and I saw that shaman actually tweet out, I guess if you search novelty, it will actually show the items that are actual placeable in there. So you don't have to sift through loads and loads of storage. Maybe you bought storage spots for...
I think it actually is because it has like the category and the tooltip.
Yeah. I was actually just doing NOV because I didn't feel like writing out the whole word, and there's not that many other things with NOV in it. So.
Oh, and I believe this is how it worked for my Winter's Day bell that I had, the free one that only has the 2 octaves. You have to double click it to equip it, and then it turns into another item that you can right click and add to wardrobe. So they didn't just go through all of the accounts and update the items. You have to use them again to trigger the code to convert it to a wardrobe unlock item.
My flute worked that way, but the what was it? Forget what it was. One of my other things, I didn't need to do that. I was just able to right click it and add to wardrobe right away.
So maybe it did work for
it depends. Yeah.
I saw a lot of people getting a how to dance thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to get any of the toys, like the lanterns or the kites or anything. It's just not something that I was interested in getting.
Is the water balloon dispenser part of the novelties?
I believe it is, because the bobblehead laboratory and the aviator memory box is part of the toy
awesome.
category.
Cool.
I'd have to log
Yeah, I
back
think
in.
I see the icon in the image that they showed for the blog post.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they didn't put it in, that would be a huge oversight because that.
Yeah,
totally
hopefully this
in
means
there.
we'll maybe get more of those or something like I've been hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And then
come
you
on,
wanna-
Arena, I want to give you money.
But also the endless tonics aren't in it yet, which
But
I
they do have
forgot
plans.
about.
Yeah, they
Why
do
was
have
that?
plans on putting them in once. I think they said once it's kind of more stable and there's no bugs. So
Well, that and there's just a lot of infinite tonics in the game.
Oh yeah, like I was telling you when I was going through looking for all my toys and stuff, I was finding so many infinite tonics that I had forgotten I had. It's crazy. Like I totally forgot I had the infinite cat tonic, if you believe it.
Toys that come with outfits don't go into the collection yet. Oh, so like the axe for the executioner's outfit?
Mm,
Yeah, the Mad King one.
Well, that's on. I'm sure they'll get to all of them.
yeah.
mhm.
Like they already have the category, they just have to slot it in. So
Well, like for that, that's when like for the executioner's ass.
Hey,
For the executioner's axe, when you use it, it gives you a different outfit, right? Like that's what that
no,
happens
you
with?
can. It's a separate toy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a separate toy.
Yeah.
Was there a
I mean, it
broom
came with an
difference?
outfit,
Yeah.
but
I thought there was something where when you use the item, it changed what you look like.
no.
that's a tonic.
Oh, okay. All right.
Man, too bad. Too bad we're not going right into the gem store because I could have used that transition using
That
the
wasn't- that would've
executioner's
been-
axe. But anyway, yeah. So
Also, the customer appreciation package for free.
oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Free
Which
key,
is
free
one black line chest and one black line key, but it is only for this week, so I'm guessing that's going to go away Tuesday. So definitely, if you haven't grabbed it, make sure to grab it. I mean, free is free.
I got a back piece out of my free one
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
that someone might tackle me for,
Uh-oh.
because it's a new back piece.
It's a new one?
Oh, you got the bunny one?
There's a bunny one?
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah, I was hoping to foreshadow.
Yes. But yeah, so definitely pick that up. Maybe you'll get one of the new items that we'll be talking about later. Also with the patch notes, some changes to the Fractals party. I kind of like this one. The party UI in Fractals will now show agony resistance instead of mastery level, which that's just nice and handy. I mean,
Yeah. Much more useful information.
yes.
Especially even for you. Like, it's not even like you just need to look at your party's agony resistance. It's nice to be able to see your own.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and also especially when you like change characters and stuff, sometimes I forget, like, wait, how much did this character have? Do I need to move things around or am I set? Like, just don't always know, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, it takes a lot of time to install that switch so they can flip it on, chat. It took them about 3 years. You've been asking for 3 years. They got it in there. But, yeah, so also mislock instabilities will no longer show on the skill bar. Instead, they will appear in the objective UI. Exploding traps and Cliffside Fractal have had their hitboxes and effects improved. That's nice. When players swap characters and re-enter the same fractal, they will now appear in the defeated state.
Oh. Was there some kind of cheesy thing to do?
I'm guessing. It
Wondering
sounds like...
If you were downed, if you could swap characters real quick and come in on another character, you'd be back up again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just that they wanted to make sure that you couldn't do that, but I don't think people were doing that. I think they're just swapping to, to something more efficient, I guess.
I don't know.
That's a good, interesting change.
Yeah, and Arlie is informing chat that only 18 hours and 57 minutes left on the novelty selection box and the customer appreciation box. Oh, so it's not even Tuesday. It's
Novelty should be longer unless they had a typo. Huh.
I just opened the game and went into the thing because I was like, I should grab those before I forget, because I was putting it off because I hadn't decided what I wanted, but and I saw it.
All right. Well, there you go. Fractal weapon crates and gold fractal weapon crates will now properly display as exotic rarity. I guess some people were accidentally destroying them or something. Like,
really?
I don't know. It's from the sounds of it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Raids fixed an issue that could cause Samurag to be invulnerable while pouncing on a player. That's just funny.
Yeah.
That's like, CC, why aren't you CC? I'm dying, CC. I'm dead. Why didn't you CC?
That just sounds great because that just sows discourse into the group. I told you to CC. We were trying. You're lying. I didn't see that bar move. Can they just make that a feature into another, like, because that just sounds like a good thing to like start messing with your like the team.
Back to the fractal thing. I believe Eric the Nocturnal is saying that the fractal gold fractal boxes for the weapons were extended quality boxes with exotic tier items in them.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
Personal story. Tower down fixed a bug that could cause demolitionist Ton to become unresponsive at the end of the chapter. That would be annoying.
Yeah,
because it would completely stop you from being able to finish the instance, so you'd have to do the whole thing again, and that's
especially at the end of it.
That's one of the longer lead ups to Ore, if I remember right. I remember right because Ton died in my personal story, and his wife won't talk to my elementalist.
Yep.
Spoiler.
Same here.
Even though we just talked about the whole Joko stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some items. So Superior Rune of the Defender. The rune has had its icon updated. Nice little. The Phospholuminescent Infusion has had its maximum scaling reduced. And the Unbreakable Choir Bell, the tradable version of this item, is now a container. Opening the container will give players an account-bound version of the bell that can be stored in the novelty section of their wardrobe. So,
yay!
I realize now that that's what my choir bell was. So I was completely wrong on the double click to turn into another item. So my version I could have traded to someone else.
Right.
I wanted to keep it anyway.
All right. Well, so the balance update. We're probably not gonna go one by one through everything, but when we will at the beginning announce like, okay, we're talking about this profession, and we're gonna go in the order of the patch notes, I believe. So we'll announce who we're doing, and that way people can pull out things that they maybe in chat want to talk about, or the fellow hosts. So first off, we'll just start with the general options. Fixed a bug affecting some abilities that could result in unnatural targeting when using the ground targeting instant option, coupled with the allow skill retargeting option. Warband support updated the skill to dismiss allies already summoned by this skill before calling in new ones. Oh, come on. You could have an army.
That was actually an extension of the thief from the thief change.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You could finish the cooldown before they despawned, and then you could just continuously summon more char NPCs.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And then the other interesting one with the ground targeting bit is apparently the wonkiness of it was 7-shot for Revenant for Renegade, how it's basically a triangle. Apparently there was a way you could get it so that the angle of fire was closer to your character, so you'd get an intersection. So in a raid you could literally fire point blank on top of yourself and have all of the shots converge in like a melee range in front of you.
Oh, wow.
Is what I've heard. So it was aberrant skill targeting.
I'm really sad about that change, the warband support change, and just those changes in general, at least for PvE, because that was fun to do with adrenal mushrooms.
Unintended, but fun.
Yeah. I wish they kept it for PvE at least. Oh well.
That would have been nice. And the last general thing, barrier is now displayed in light blue text when applied. Additionally, granting and receiving barrier is now displayed in the combat log. So
That's just,
a little, yeah. So I think first up we will be talking about the Elementalist. Any thoughts or things you guys want to pull out from the Elementalist itself?
Auras.
Like the chorus.
Auras,
well,
I think. It's the biggest one.
So basically any skill that just gave you an aura, so Dagger 4, which is just Frost Aura, has been converted to have a flip skill of whenever you have a corresponding aura of that element, you can reactivate that skill to detonate the aura, which removes it from yourself but causes a point-blank AoE effect. I believe that flip over skill is also available if you gain an aura from another source.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't just like say you get Frost Aura from channeling Tempest Overload Water.
Mm-hmm.
You hit Overload Water, you get the Frost Aura after the end of the Overload, and then if you have Dagger offhand, it flips. You can detonate the aura, and then it flips back, and you get Frost Aura. I do believe the flip skill has its own cooldown, so you can't just double detonate, but...
Mm-hmm.
Rats. I was just wondering, because I was like, I might have to try my old Armancer thing again, because you get a lot of auras off of, what was it, what was Heart of Thorn's elite spec for Ellie?
Tempest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And there's a trait called Smothering Auras, and now whenever you apply an aura to yourself or an ally, you remove a condition, you detonate, it removes 2 conditions. So that's really cool.
That was the one that improved fire auras where you gained 2 might instead of 1, and then you gained 1 might whenever you were hit with another aura, or at least or I think it was auras you apply. I don't know. It doesn't matter anymore. The trait doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mithrin is right. It's like the Guardian Torch 4, where if you get the set yourself in fire thing, it flips over the trait so you can throw the fire at someone.
Yeah, I don't know if I heard Scepter Tempest was back for raids, but I don't know if I think it's still fine. I don't know about PvP itself, but I think raids is okay.
It gives Auramancer yet again more answers to Condi outside of Overload Water.
Yeah, I like that bit. I think that's why I like the aura change and that Smothering Aura change, because it allows for more condition cleansing. It allows for more support role as well. So that's really nice.
But opinions on Ellie? Good. Also, Lava Font buffed by 10%.
Ooh, nice.
After it got whacked in the face with a sledgehammer on the last balance patch.
So it's more in tune. It's still down from...
They're fine-tuning it.
It's probably going to get bumped up a little bit more, but I'd rather see them do it bit by bit.
Yeah.
Rather than just revert the change.
Understandable. Any final thoughts on Elementalist? Next up, we have the Engineer, and I spelled that wrong.
Hollow got nerfed for PvP.
Hollow got deserved nerfs for PvP.
Yes.
Like 100%. These are all deserved. Is Hollow bad now? No, it's still fine. Like,
do they make it so that all the things that they do is less confusing? Like,
no, it's still the same part.
That's my main issue with Hollowsmith. I'm like, there's things all over the place. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Could you just please die?
There's a lot of visual noise with Hollowsmith. I completely agree with that.
It's the light show.
It is. It really is. Cooldown nerfs for Prismatic Singularity, which is the Arena tool belt, which is the pull in. So 15 seconds additional on that. And then another 15 seconds on Prime Light Beam, which any skill that can throw downstate foes, I'm okay with that having a better cooldown. Plus, it does a crap ton of damage, and it leaves a fire field. So, or is a life? I don't think it's technically a field, but it's a burning AOE.
Yeah.
Either way.
That's a field.
Spectrum Shield, the cooldown reduction bonus you get at overheat is 25%, so it is a 30-second skill instead of a 20-second skill if you use it properly. That's good. Hollow needed these nerfs. They're solid. They hit where they needed to hit.
The gyro changes are interesting. Now that Marcus remember, it's for the shredder gyro in particular. So what they did is they kind of reduced the burst damage and made it more damage over time.
The thing is, it also, like, they increased the number of strikes it deals. Each strike still does a whirl finisher. So they also doubled the number of combo procs that it gets. So they basically are telling you that you need to put this into a field in order to get the full value out of it.
Yeah, it's interesting because it looks like for the shredder gyro, they reduced the damage by 25%, but increased the number of strikes from, like you said, 6 to 12. So, yeah.
Gyro's lost. You're wrong.
I'd have to look at it.
Yeah, because it scales with the engineer now. Yeah.
So if you were just running the base damage on the gyro, well, that's gonna hit you because that's just basically how this change is designed to hit. So I think you'd have to be running a pretty solid power build to get.
Yeah, as I say, it sounds like you actually have to invest into gyros,
and you're not wrong, Torment. Whirl finishers are unreliable unless you're throwing them on a field that's inside someone's hitbox. So in PvP, not great. Raiding, this should be a help. I don't know if Whirl Gyro is ever used in raiding, but
I could see it if you're a Condi because you can apply more stacks of like poison or burning
or something. Yeah,
but
like cleansing or brutal bolts from an electric field or a lightning field. It would be better if whirl finishers had a reliable pattern. Like if they sent out like 4, 5, or 6 bolts in like a repeating, like a pattern. So whirl finishers as a finisher need looked at because I don't think they function very well as they are.
No.
But other than that, engineer, decent changes for Hollowsmith. Gyros need more work. Orbital command changes, just more free damage, but meh. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a light beam from the sky.
Roomba gyro. Well, I doubt that's gonna happen since they've already established the elite spec. I don't think they're gonna go back and
make can rework one.
True.
Work the stealth gyro into the Roomba gyro. It clears AoE fields.
That'd be amazing.
Next up, we have the Guardian. So how did the Guardian fare in all this?
Staff sounds awesome.
Staff is back.
The staff is actually a backline support weapon now.
Oh, wow.
The auto attack and the 2 have been completely changed. Auto attack is straight line bolt, single target. Second auto attack is a straight line orb that detonates and hits 3 targets. And then the final attack is a homing orb, which looks about the size of the old 2, seeks target and detonates to 5 targets. So you've got long range siege. I agree with Tavik is that the auto attack could be sped up a little bit. I think it's more just like before and after cast kind of stuff that need to be fixed. The 2 is a healing and damage ability. It is also a blast finisher. It is also a 1200 range skill. And the healing on Empower, the 4, has been, the skill split has been removed. It now does full healing in PvP and WW from the World v World stuff, which basically doubles the heal in PvP and WW.
It's really cool. I really like the number 2 skill. It sounds really cool. And I definitely see you said it for well as well.
There's a slight delay on it, but it's a good blast finisher. Like it's a pretty responsive one.
Yeah, I like it. I'll probably give it a try when we're around Silverways.
Retreat.
That's the name of my character, yeah.
But Guardian.
Yeah, it sounds like all nice changes for the Guardian. How about the Mesmer?
Nerfs to Vigor and will nerf to access to Vigor, and I think, but you got some more clones, I guess.
Nerfs to Vigor on Mirage, which is good because if Mirages can dodge a lot, they're really frustrating because Mirage Cloak. Buffs to Scepter, the illusionary counter, will always spawn at least one clone. If you actually get the counter attack on illusionary counter, you get 2 clones. If you fire off counter spell for the interrupt, you get 1 clone. So more clones for Scepter and less Vigor for Mirages.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Nerf buff.
Any other thoughts on the Mesmer? They didn't seem like they received a whole heck of a lot, but
not really, no.
Just interesting. Because Mirage has been, well, actually, no, Mesmer technically has been a little oppressive with the changes, but they kind of just scaled it down and up a little bit over time. I haven't heard much as of late, but it seems like they're in an okay spot, maybe a little strong. But
Mesmers will probably continue to get shaved down. The Vigor change, it's going to take a bit to feel like the shakeup on Mirages, because if you can dodge, that's basically everything you're trying to do as a Mirage. So that's less endurance overall is going to be a thing that needs to be looked at carefully for data.
Next up, we have the Necromancer.
Oh dear. They got a lot of trait changes.
Yeah, this was like changes to some comedy, changes to some of the minions, buffs to Reaper.
Good changes to the minions. Buffs to the minions.
Oh.
Yeah, I know,
good,
right?
Good changes, yeah.
That's surprising.
So since we'll go over the surprising thing first, Bloodfiend and Bone minions now regenerate health out of combat and grant life force when they die.
Nice.
I think the other interesting the Power Reaper stuff to me is really interesting. Death perception is now 33% crit while in Shroud as opposed to 50. But it also gives you 300 ferocity.
Yeah.
Which is
great.
Great.
I'll take that trade.
Yeah.
But it also makes things easier for Necros to itemize because precision is no longer worthless to them. Because a lot of that, often death perception was combined with the vulnerability, 2% crit per vuln on target from Reaper for 100% crit. But then you're like, okay, I need to figure out how to have 0 precision in my build.
Yeah.
Paladins, yeah. But you still have like the base, so it's like even my base stats are useless. So it was just weird like that. And then Reaper's Onslaught was changed to, instead of just 15% faster attacks, you just get a constant pulsing 3 seconds of quickness every 3 seconds. Which is cool because it buffs a bunch of other stuff, because you can dip out of Shroud. Like if you get a bit of concentration, you can get like 3.5, 4 seconds of quickness and stack it. And then you have a few seconds, like if you drop Shroud right after a pulse, you have like a few seconds of quickness with your normal abilities. But at the same time, now your bonus attack speed in Shroud is vulnerable to corruption and rips. So, and yeah, Magnus Valkyrie stats were always a thing for Power Reapers, but now like you have a little bit more leeway since your base stats actually cover a bit more of that like 17% crit that you need to get the max. But that and the other thing that I thought is really cool was the Scepter trait. Now actively changes a weapon skill.
Ooh.
The Scepter 3 Devouring Curse now become Feast of Corruption now becomes Devouring Darkness, which is the same skill but AoE.
I like that.
It's targeted AoE, so it's locked on the target, but it's a whole new icon, it's a whole new animation, and it's a pretty cool skill.
Seems really good.
In general, like good stuff for Necro, all around.
Yeah. I feel like I need to play Power Reaper. It seems like in a really good spot right now. I need to update my build because I have like this tank Reaper build, but it seems like I can actually get tankiness but power as well. So like enough damage off. That's really good. I like it.
Yeah, it seems like some nice solid changes good changes for the Necro. Any final thoughts on Necro? Next up we got the Ranger. How did the Ranger fare in all of this?
A bug fix.
Yeah, I was
Slight
gonna say.
damage bumps.
Yeah, I was gonna say not too much happened with the Ranger. It looks like just
Which bug did they fix?
Fixed a bug that would cause spirit skills to go on cooldown twice when activating their secondary sacrifice skill.
Oh wow.
This is also one of those things that when I watch the Balance with Boots episodes on Wooden Potatoes channel, Boots has made the point that Ranger has every single balance patch. There is a bug fix to Ranger.
Yeah. Just one of the reasons why I said which bug did they fix.
Yeah. Apparently there was also a minor issue with Flame Trap, is that there was an initial attack. There were two initial attack ticks. Like there's the attack that triggers when you trigger the trap plus the burning of the area. So now both of those initial hits burn.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Slight buff to trap. Like Torment said, trimmed worldly impact, nerfed a little bit. Daggers buffed.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, like I said, looks like not too much change with the Ranger, but nice little quality of life and buffs. So
now we have a new class to play here.
Huh?
Well, the Revenant has a completely new elite spec to talk about.
Yeah, they did change the Herald around pretty well. It's like a whole new game. So I guess there is hope for the gyro. That's also the
What did they do with Harold?
All the things.
Yeah, they kind of changed how the facet of nature worked, and they kind of switched around a lot of the Herald Master Healer.
Yeah, so the facets are now considered. When you flip them, they now have a active called Consume skill. They're defined as that.
Class, so
yeah, they still have the same skills. Some of them have a little bit updates here and there, but basically they have new / updated traits. The facet of natures is slightly different, so it's going to give a bonus based on the legend you're on. So for Joss, you gain damage reduction. Malix, you transfer conditions. Shiro, you grant life steal. Ventari, you heal every few seconds all around you. Glint, you increase boon duration. And it's, I believe it was 2-3 setups. So for example, so Malix, you transfer damaging conditions. So that's 2 conditions. Ventari, you heal every few seconds, things like that. So, and then one with nature is the consume skill from the facet, and that, grants stability for Jealous. Malix, you transfer conditions. Shiro, you strip boons. Ventari, you cleanse conditions. Glint, you increase duration of boons. And that's 2 seconds. So like Jealous grants 2 stacks of stability, you transfer 2 conditions with Malix. You strip 2 boons with Shiro. Ventari, you cleanse 2 conditions. And if you trade it, you can increase those to 3. So that's one of the traits that you get.
It's honestly, I want to get into the nitty gritty of this, but that's like that's like a whole half hour a show, and it's already 5:30.
Yep.
The backline, the supportive nature of the Herald bit is amazing.
Yeah.
And Eric the Nocturnal brings up a really good point, is that one of the traits lets your auras affect 10 people.
Yeah, it was the might stacking one. Apparently, it's not a full 25%. I think it was Shrimp actually who was talking about this with me. And he's thinking that they're going to hit the Rangers might stacking so that you're going to need 2 people who can might stack.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Because right now, besides Druid, the people who might stack to 10 people can stack reasonably well around 15 might stacks. So like 13 to 15. So if they trim down the Druids might stacking, we might see 2 might stackers in a raid group. So I could see that happening.
Well, like we said, without going too much into it, because it could be its own show in of itself. Any like final? Are these all good changes for the Revenant? I mean,
there's too much really there to say that this is going to be good long term, but a lot of it is really some awesome quality of life stuff for Herald, and makes it function a lot better when you're using Legends outside of Glint.
Yeah, which would be nice for, like, because honestly, with me and my Revenant, most of the time I have Herald as one of my things, but I pretty much always just run it around in Shiro just because it works well for me, and I don't generally find the facets that useful. So I don't know.
I think it allows Revenants to play in PvP more reliably.
So a lot more Revenants on Wednesday.
Yeah, because the traits aren't pigeonholing you really, and it allows you to get better options in terms of what you want to do. So if you want to heal, there are better traits for you. If you still want to do damage, there's still good traits for you. So I think overall, I think it defines it more. So Herald is a good line to bring for PvP. Renegade, we've talked about it, but not really. So Renegade's more of a PvE/raid oriented spec.
Cool.
So yeah.
And I wouldn't say I wouldn't look at it as, slowly pushing Druid out of the meta. It's giving more options, which is what this needs.
The problem is anytime you have the meta is this one thing and only this one thing, that is a problem.
Well, I mean, I guess that is the definition of the meta, like, top tier thing. So yes, there has to be someone in first.
Well, the meta should be like, these things are pretty even, and there's bonuses to taking one versus the other that makes, depending on what you need, one better than the other. There should be that. But Druid right now is just, Druid.
Yeah, so actually I like the idea of more options. That's kind of what needs to be happening. Hopefully, more for all the other professions as well. All right. Next up, we got the Thief.
Dagger Storm.
Daggerstorm. I'm really looking forward to the Daggerstorm evade change.
Yeah, Dagger Storm, it has increased duration, but for that, we get evade during the entire frame. So that's freaking awesome.
The entire channel of Dagger Storm.
I've wanted that for a long time. I honestly thought when I first used it, it had an evade frame. I'm like, oh no, it doesn't. This is useless because they'll just pop me wall for 4 seconds while I'm sleeping. But now that it has an evade frame, it actually makes it a considerable option to take. I haven't tried it out personally, but it does sound cool. Also, Resilience of Shadows, the damage reduction went up from 25 to 33%, which is very valuable for Thief. Any damage reduction you could take is really good. That's pretty much it. There have been nerfs or changes. Like Scorpion Wire now uses ammunition, but we pretty much didn't get nerfed, which was very interesting because I honestly thought they were going to hit Malicious Backstab because it still hits like a truck.
I very much I want to see more buffs to Scorpion Wire. I'm not going to lie, because Scorpion Wire is probably the most fun I ever had in WW when people would peek out on walls and I'd be like, ha! Yoink them off the keep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I like about Squirrel Warrior is that you can do that, and if you miss, you still have a second one. And it's pretty nice. So I still think it's pretty good. And if you pair it up with Basilisk Venom, it's unblockable. So it's like, ha, you thought you could block. No, get down here. Join the rest of the Zerg.
For the not 5 seconds while they're still alive.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Yeah. Any final thoughts on Thief? Last up, we got Warrior.
Buff Rifle
Signet.
and Signets. Which is, I was surprised about Rifle, to be honest.
Honestly, buffs to Rifle 2, 3, and 4. All 33, 25%, and 100%. So Brutal Shot, the one where it's a knockback and you dodge backwards, double damage.
Oh, wow.
In PvE and PvP. My only problem is, like, I still feel like Kill Shot has too much power for everything else to be buffed nicely, but I feel like Rifle is more usable for, like, a power weapon now, as opposed to, like, I feel like Rifle needs to have a crazy amount of damage compared to the utility that Longbow brings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, like, Rifle and Warrior doesn't really have much utility, or if any, really. So having a lot of damage to compensate for that is actually fair, I think.
Yeah. Hammer Shock, which is the Hammer 3, I think, that sends out the wave. Minor damage buff on that. And the Signets, the actives on the utility slots have been buffed. Mm-hmm. So Healing Signet, Signet of Rage, no changes, because Healing Signet is probably the most prevalent warrior heal skill. And Signet of Rage, bonus adrenaline versus crazy amount of buffs. I really don't think there's anything more that needs to be added to that. Signet of Might gives an additional 10 stacks of might in PvE and 5 in PvP, on top of being unblockable, which I believe that's what that one is. Signet of Stamina, 50 endurance in PvE, 25 in PvP. So Thieves, meh, we got it too.
Not as much, but okay.
Well, Stamina also, I can't remember what the other active for it is, but it's a pretty solid use.
Kind of like Chad's idea of like the assault like changing the rifle for a warrior to like an assault rifle, like and I was starting to think, like, what if they actually brought the ammo system to that weapon? Like, it has so many charges, and
it would be kind of interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of agree with that.
I know League of Legends has an ammo system for some of the heroes, champions. Mix that up. But
I feel like they need to buff it a lot to make an ammo system worthwhile.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, switch around the skills, so it's because right now, like Chad's saying, the rifle kind of feels like almost like you're sniping. Like, there are skills where it's like planting and stuff. Like, it doesn't feel like a rifle warrior.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So, like, the auto attack would be the same. You just press it and it does things, but the rest of the skills would have an ammo system based on the impact it has. Yeah, I could see that. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Be interesting if nothing else.
Yes, but chat. Add the ammo system to a weapon that actually uses ammo. It's crazy.
As cool as I would like to see an ammo system implemented for ranged weaponry, I don't believe it works well with the action combat style of Guild Wars 2.
No, yeah.
It would be interesting, but I think it would be hard to implement, because you're basically saying that you have X number of shots and then you have a cooldown window. And I don't think necessarily that people would like that, whereas all of the other weapons are designed to be as responsive as possible.
Yeah, that's true. I think the cooldowns would be shorter, though.
Well, I was saying, and a lot of time with the ammo system for some of the utilities, it was like it would have a cooldown within it, so it's not like you had to use all your ammo on the skill for it to trigger a cooldown. It would still do that, but if you like only use the one skill and still had like 3 charges left, it would take like 1, 2, however long it would do to reset that one charge.
Yeah, there's a lot of pros and cons to it.
That's my one takeaway, because then you'd have to juxtapose those weapon skills versus, say, other ranged weapons which are magic, because then you have to balance basically two different classes of ranged weapons. So it adds another layer of balance where, from a design standpoint, I think it would be really interesting. But from an actual maintaining the game standpoint, I think as it is now is probably the best way to keep it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want an ammo system for everybody who uses that weapon either. Like, I would think using it for just that profession, using the weapon would work. And it could make sense within that context. So I think just because you make it on one class have an ammo system doesn't mean it would work or make sense for every class to feel like that.
Now, if that was the whole point of Elite Spec,
I was thinking about it on warrior rifle alone.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was just leaning towards, but
then other than warrior changes, which with all the Signet active changes, it makes the Signet skill a lot more appealing, especially since the precision buff from the Signet skill stacks with Signet use. Bring back the good old 5 Signet warrior.
Oh boy.
But other than that, all the weapons in the Obsidian set in PvP and WW are now available, and that's the last change in the balance patch. So
yep, the last stuff. I mean, you said you hopped into the new season. How's it been?
5 and 3 in my placements. I haven't finished those out yet, but I would like to get there.
You're not allowed to be under gold 2.
Yeah, I know, because I have to beat Aaron. But he said he responded to that as like gold 2 and dropping fast. So
Aww.
I honestly, like, placement at the start of the season, I really never care about, because like for the first 3 seasons I did 0 to hero, I started in bronze, and then I was able to reliably get up into silver. So honestly, my problem is playtime.
Yeah.
But
Chad, I think he said that the final 4 weapons have been added to the Obsidian weapon set for, what is it, WW and PvP that you can obtain. So that's the last 4 were shortbow, warhorn, rifle, and axe. So you can go pick those up. But yeah,
they can't see him, are they?
I can see him.
That's all that matters. Lint's giving us the insider information on the placements with Aaron. So
just unfair stomps.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Never fun.
How are the games actually?
I think my first 3 were really bad. The first and third were swings in my favor. The second was a swing in the enemy team's favor. And then the rest were fairly close for the rest of them.
Oh, that's good.
Like, I don't think we had anybody leave. I don't think I had any people AFK. I mean, I still have another 2 games to play, so that could go right out the window whenever I finish that out. But
okay,
the quality of the game seemed a lot better. The other, like the one where I made the puns, that was a solid, like, I think the enemy team was at like 420. You'll if I blaze it. Sorry, I couldn't help.
Did they blaze it?
No, they didn't. They did not. They lost. They tried. It was a good game.
Well, any final thoughts on the kind of little balance patch in general, or PvP season 13?
Good patch. Good patch. Season's good.
I was really surprised. It was like I saw like 1 person complain, and that was it.
And I'm hoping.
I honestly felt that was unwarranted, because I feel like this was actually a really good balance patch. Like everything, it felt like fixes to things. But it didn't feel like over nerfs or over buffs or any under buffs. It just felt like a solid patch.
One of the things I did see is that people didn't expect such a large change to come with this balance patch.
Oh.
So I'm hoping this heralds more regular balance. Yeah. Don't give me that face, Deo.
Yeah, Revenant's kind of the X factor in this bounce patch. Like I don't know how it'll play out, but I think it's actually pretty good for them, to be honest.
I'm not 100% sure, Eric. Eric the Nocturnal asked if this is the first balance patch with the new systems team. I don't know.
Yeah.
Might be.
That's a good question.
You know, my thought on that is that they probably were starting to have them work together before they even announced it, and then they announced it once they were together and working well as a team. That's just 100%.
There was no more fighting between them. Everything was hashed out.
Yeah. So I mean, if they did it that way, where they were already trying to get them to work together before they announced it, then
that wouldn't make sense, especially with their kind of design philosophy of like they want to talk about it when it's ready type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the same mentality of like you don't want to be like, yeah, we're combining teams, and like then it's like 6 months later, it's like, oh, so that was that team. It's like, oh no, that didn't work out like after the first month. Like, yeah, we just never brought it up. Like, so I imagine, yeah, they tested, like they saw if it was an actual working, feasible thing, and so it very well could have been, or maybe even the tail end of it.
But if on the other hand they announced it was like, hey, smush, like I don't think this would have anything to do with it. It's too recent.
Yeah. But yeah, so you guys are talking about the placement and stuff. Maybe you put some money on it. Maybe you're in like good footing to spend some money on some gem store stuff. And speaking of gem store, thank you always to Dolphy.net. Check out Dolphy.net so you can spend your gems more wisely. So first up, we actually have some new Black Lion weapon skins, the Equinox skins, and you can see them right here. They are 1 Black Lion claim ticket, so even with your free chest and key, maybe you'll get a claim ticket and can get one of these.
That is trippy. Whoa.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
I kind of like the focus and the torch personally. The focus kind of reminds me of like how they've kind of done the new, like the Elder Scrolls and the Elder Scrolls games, and the torch is kind of just like almost like a flashlight almost. It's a glowing ball.
Kind of weird. Like I don't know what to think about that.
It's because of the half moon thing on the dark side.
Yeah.
It looks like it would just kind of wobble apart as you used it, but magic weapons, yo.
Yep.
And like Chad is saying, a lot of them are animated too. So
is it like a star field for the dark side of things? Because that looks really cool.
I think so.
From looking at some of them, it did have like a nice texture on it. So, but yeah. Shield looks kind of nice for kind of a buckler type thing. But yeah, like I agree with kind of what Chad's saying. Like I really like the torch, but I'm like, I like so many torches out there, and I just don't use them.
It's the only problem I have with a lot of offhands is the fact that the offhands are very situationally tied to builds. Like most builds focus around what the main hand is, because I mean it's the bulk of your skills. I don't know, that, and like torch feels like I use torch on my guardian, but I literally just use it because of the multi-hit on the 5, because I'm running a burn build, and my entire purpose on the build is to get as many ticks of the justice passive as I can.
So
and then Ranger, Ranger torch is just boring.
Yes. The one after the stagger, I didn't recognize what that was. It looked like a rod.
That's the focus. That's the
focus. Okay.
Think of it like a big scroll case.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just like, what is that?
But yeah, I think these are pretty nice looking skins.
They are Black Lion ticket quality skins.
Nope.
Yes. And I believe they are tradable, so if you don't have the stuff, or you have the gold, you can always buy them off the trading post.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they learned their lesson about the account bound Black Lion ticket stuff. Because there was a lot of anger about that set.
All right. So are you guys gonna try to maybe go after a couple of these? Because I might try to see if I can get the torch just for, like I said, I probably will never use it, but it's probably one of the ones that I definitely would probably want in my collection at some point.
Yeah, no, they look great, but I wouldn't use them. So
if I have a ticket, I don't know if I have a ticket. The shield is really awesome.
I'd probably get a shield myself if I had a ticket.
yeah, I have the Bloodstone shield. So
Maybe the scepter too.
And chat saying they already had the whole set. There you go.
And the sword. I don't
somehow keep missing
that.
the-
Like he has the set.
I somehow keep missing the torch. This is there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like I kept missing the torch on every single rotation. It's just like, how did I do this?
Also, some stuff in the gem store. The Emblazoned Dragon Throne.
Ooh.
So, it is a seat that you can buy at the gem store for 600 gems.
I think you
And you
mean
can see
a
it kind of has a
chair.
gilt. Shh, whatever.
It's classified as a chair.
But the chair has a seat in it.
If you like the number 2,
It's
Oh.
pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I kind of like the sitting animation for the people, which like.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't put this in notes, but Arena's having a little contest on Twitter where you can actually win one of 6. I don't remember if it was 6, but you can win a Dragon Throne or a Dragon Emblem Kite, which you'll see next. But you just have to tweet at them what you would do if you'd win one of them or both of them. So there you go. You can find it on this week's.
Sit in a chair or fly a kite? Or is that not a good enough reason?
Oh,
What do
6,
with them?
okay. So what would you guys do if you had one?
honestly, I wouldn't mind restarting a
Oh, come
a
on.
version.
The char in the chair looks ridiculous. The chair is small.
Well, it was kind of interesting because
sorry.
if you look closely, it's like kind of like leaning forward, like it's ready to just get up and go into like a fight.
Like
Like
honestly,
it's like ready to go into action.
the char looks like they're in evil villain monologue mode.
Yeah, like the human looks tiny on the thing, and the char looks like he's sitting in a kid's chair. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Should
mean
the
to
chair
derail
scale?
us back to the chair, but I just looked over and saw the char sitting. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I would
the
like to see like the chair scale, but I wonder how big that would
I'm
make
kind
it.
I'm not gonna lie, human male is kind of boring.
Yeah. I want the female stance.
I also say the human ones
Yeah,
are
I'm
kind of like they're bored of being there because the female one's just like meh, and the human one looks normal, but you can see he's I think it's his left foot. He's kind of just like tapping, like kind of bored. Like what I'm like, so yeah, I kind of was like, yeah, I was like, it seems like they don't like my character's not happy that I made a purchase, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand it's like throne stance, but it's just like I much prefer the female version of it.
Yep.
I mean, all of all of like the sitting positions appear to be more like, you know, evil villain sits on throne kind of thing. But
Mm-hmm. The other thing, like go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, what were we talking about before I went back to the
the
chair?
contest.
All right.
Oh yeah. The other thing that we were talking about during the contest was the dragon balloon or dragon emblem kite for 250 gems, and it's basically just the Guild Wars 2 kind of 2 dragon logo thing.
Isn't that one of the options in the free
Yes.
novelties?
Yes, you can get this for free. If you like Guild Wars 2, a lot of stuff coming out today, this week.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely can grab that. I mean, you know, probably not my cup of tea. I would probably get the throne over the kite, but
If you do slash dance with the balloon in hand, it actually lights up.
If you
it
what?
lights up.
No, I'm joking.
Oh,
Oh, I was gonna
Damn
say fake news.
That would be cool.
it would be cool.
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay. Can't trust age at all.
Nope.
Just like a
He
thief.
is a thieves.
Also, the exosuit mounts pack is back for, or is this the first time, or this has been returning, right?
What?
This is a new
Exosuit.
item.
Oh, it
Oh,
is?
exosuit.
Oh.
That
Yeah, I think it's
the mounts
returning.
pack is returning. Yeah.
Yeah, the mount
Okay,
pack
I just want to make sure.
are returning. My bad.
Yeah, the exosuit mounts pack is returning for 1,200 gems, 40% off. So definitely pick
These
those
die
up.
really well. I have this set.
Yeah, they look cool.
I don't want to spend the money on the gem.
It looked so cool that Arlie was standing right next to me when I mounted on my Griffin. She's like, "Oh my god, look at how cool this Griffin looks!" And I'm like, "Arlie, I know."
Yep. I had looked away and I looked back and there was this great, wonderful looking Griffin. And I was like, you have to come over here and see this.
Yeah, just the default color sets on the exosuit mounts are good.
Yeah.
So I would recommend it. The mount packs, the themed mount packs are pretty awesome.
Now, it does not include a
Roller
skin for these
No.
beetle. So,
which is
That
disappointing.
wasn't a thing yet.
yeah, just so people are aware.
I am kind of tempted because it is affordable.
Yeah. Definitely thinking about it.
So it's 5 skins.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 for 340 gems. Is it?
Yep.
That's actually not too bad on my. Damn it.
Yep.
Damn you.
Oh, it's 1,200. It's even cheaper than normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
why. So like 340 for a skin is not too bad.
No. That's why I'm definitely considering it. I mean, I was already because, like we just said, I was like, oh my God. But yeah.
Here you go. Right. This is probably the lowest we've ever seen a mount pack. So
It is actually the lowest that a mount pack has been sold for. I don't know if other mount packs have hit 1,200 gems, but this is the lowest I can remember seeing a mount pack.
Mm-hmm.
So some on sale stuff, September 1st, so today, 35% off silver fed salvage-o-matic and copper fed salvage-o-matic. I'd definitely recommend at least picking up one of them, if not both. But
Both.
Mm-hmm.
That's just for me. I would highly, these are super good value.
September 2nd, 35% off Firefly mining flute, swarm logging flute, and butterfly harvesting flute.
Yay.
I was just I was looking to Arlie, but like, well, I know who's gonna.
She
No.
already has like
She
4
has.
sets of these.
No, I only have one set of the flutes. I did just buy one set of the flutes, so I'm good.
But I know you really liked the idea of the flute thing, so.
Yeah.
Oh, and Chad is saying silver fed is 325 gems and copper fed is 520. So
845 for the both of them. That's a 10.
Why is the copper fed one more expensive?
It's more valuable.
How?
Because the basically the salvage rate, the materials you're getting out of stuff you'd salvage with it,
Mm-hmm.
will almost always cover the cost of paying to salvage it.
Oh, okay.
And then after you're probably, because with the way they added the tiers to the salvage all on the salvage kits, the value on it is salvage all blue and green on the copper fed, and then use the silver fed to salvage the rares.
Oh, okay.
And that's the value breakpoints, at least that I use. But you get so much stuff from blues and greens that you will recoup the cost on just buying it in the first place.
and September 3rd, 30% off home instance node pack. So nice. Outfit your old instance before that new one comes. Also, the Blackline chest got an update, and they're updated to the 6th anniversary chest. They gave us the new mini brown Springer kit as an added guaranteed item, and it's kind of like the other ones used in the Mystic Forge to unlock basically all the varieties of different.
It's
Springers.
a trap.
It's adorable.
But yeah, some of the stuff that they put into the new updated Blackline chest. Some of the stuff is returning, like the mini exosuit mounts pack, and that's the minis, not the actual mounts. So Storm Dagger, Gallant Weapon Collection, but what we were talking about earlier, they actually added a new item, the Springer Kit Backpack, and you can kind of see it here. It's basically a little pet bunny in a sack on your back.
Oh.
Yep. The sack has a carrot on it. Arlie,
Breathe.
There goes all of her gems. She's buying keys.
You know, I was literally just like not that long ago. I was like, wow, I have like 1,000 gems sitting around doing nothing.
You had 1,000 gems sitting around doing nothing. Hopefully afterwards you'll have a bunny backpack.
Hopefully you'll have money.
Only 110 people. Thank you.
Oh dear Lord. Oh dear Lord.
I have to agree with Josh on this one, is that a lot of the other mount backpacks are just kind of like the mount hanging onto you.
Mm-hmm.
This is 100% better representation.
Oh yeah.
Like
this is amazing.
Plus,
like, does it look around as you're going around and stuff? Oh my god.
Yeah, it shows its head's turned and
like literally I'm logging on now and buying
I was just gonna say we're gonna lose Arlie here.
You're buying keys. You're buying it. You're gambling for it. I'm sorry.
Oh, you can't just buy it?
No.
Nope, it's in the black line chests.
All right, well, I guess I know what I'm spending 1,000 gems on.
Don't spend $1,000.
You have money.
I was gonna say, when you said $1,000, like you went $1,000, Mike O'Brien just went.
Clearly, the future of the gem store is tiny rabbits in sacks.
Oh dear Lord.
Yeah, no, not $1,000. Oh my god. Wow. All right. Well, if you hear me shriek it really loud, you'll know why.
Oh god, let's hurry up for everybody's ears. But yeah, some of the rare stuff. The chest has been updated with 16 exclusive items from the Black Line chest, scientific weapon collection, glyph of the tailor, glyph of the leather worker. Also, some new Black Line statuette stuff. It looks like, well, at least adding new stuff, not actual new items, but a new selection of town clothes outfits have been added. Exclusives have been added, so the Wild Magic Backpack Glider combo, the Svanir gauntlets, and the Celestial Compass skin have been added to the Black Line statuettes. And also the Profane Light Armor skin, Crichton Medium Armor skin, and Primeval Armor or Heavy Armor skin, which when we were talking about that deal with the bubble tea stuff, that's what actually will be in those. A choice of one of those armors will be in that bundle if you buy one of their things and win the giveaway, I think it was. And also you can get the Mad Scientist gathering tools, so that's nice.
Nice. I like the Celestial Compass skin, so that's a pretty nice addition.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, like the Black Lion chest, I think the only thing that really needs revamped is the guaranteed drops tier of stuff. Because like a revive orb, like I don't know many people that actually use the damn things.
I use them when I am like doing let's say Tangled Depths, and I'm doing one of the event chains, and I just die because I'm getting swarmed and no one's actually doing real damage, and then I revive myself, so I don't have to run back.
Arlie might flip tables Hypnotic.
So yeah, I was looking at this. So you're guaranteed a mini brown Springer kit and a Black Lion statuette. So you only have 2 chances to get it out of each Black Lion chest.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure that the
mini is guaranteed.
The mini is guaranteed. The statuette is guaranteed. The
Yes.
other slots.
The other 2 slots.
Yeah,
The Springer Kit backpack is an uncommon drop.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying you only have.
She's saying
2
how it used to
chances.
be. We got 3 chances.
Oh, yeah.
She's saying
Yeah,
there's
they
only going to be
changed
2.
They changed that a while ago when they did the big update to only have 2 guaranteed slots.
Welcome to the new box.
There's always the guarantee.
Well, you're gonna have a load of bunny minis, so that's one way to be happy about it. And
it's what the guaranteed drop, the statuette drop, then 2 slots for guaranteed stuff, and then you can roll additional.
Any final thoughts on Gem Store?
Good run. Decent stuff today.
I'll say, I guess Arlie will have her final thought on Gem Store after she burns through her keys.
Right. Oh my God.
Sucks.
Like, I'm already mentally in my brain thinking about whether I'm going to buy more gems once I use these keys and don't get it.
See, this is why I said I hope you have money.
Once again, Mike O'Brien's like,
future of the Gem
like,
Store.
My brain is already there.
Oh, I queued up the sad music if you don't get it.
Aw, thanks.
Well, last up, let's talk about Community Corner. So this week, another video from Games Love and Life. Monica, who's been in chat. I don't know if she's still here or not. I haven't seen her speak in a while, but she put out a Turn Karma into Spirit Wood planks, which I think was one of the ones we were like saying would be a nice one to do if when she put out her original, like one of her other ones, which was what, turning him into, it was the metal one, so turning him into Delgemore ingots.
And then there was another one she did on Damascus.
The leather. Yeah. It might have been that one, but
I don't know if she did leather yet, but that one's going to get the views because leather is the expensive stuff right now.
So, I think that was one thing we suggested. I think I saw some other people suggest it in that video, like I said last time. So definitely, throw out your ideas and she'll see if she can figure out a great way to, maybe get that leather farm going. But yeah, this one was the Turn Karma into Spirit Wood planks, which basically is having you go use your karma and go around to different hard vendors to acquire the materials to make, Spirit Wood planks, which are the ascended crafting, materials.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's a nice little handy video. I'll throw it in chat for people, and of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, it will be in the description. So definitely give it a look if you're in the market for some Spirit Wood planks. Any final thoughts on that?
I need to look at the rest of the videos because I didn't know.
Yep.
I don't have a lot of karma, but still.
Yeah, you're using it all for your legendaries.
Yep.
I don't even know how much karma I have anymore.
So I could sell like Deltron Steel and Spirit Wood planks, so I have enough money for mats for other legendaries.
Awesome. Well, that is it for this week. And Jim, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter at MalthanusMMO. You can also find me here on twitch.tv/MAADrealms, 2 days in the MAAD, on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Vote to Kick and Zero to Hero. This week, I'm going to be re-recording the ad blocker episode because the week I wanted to record the ad blocker episode was just not good. I didn't have a guest for the show. I didn't have my notes set up. I didn't have the scene set up. It was just not great all around. So hope to see you there. And I'm going to have a guest this time.
And hopefully by that episode, we'll have all the changes that we were trying to come up with.
New layout. We're going to work on that.
Yep. Awesome. And Age, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitch and YouTube at AgeLightRed. So 2 things. First off, Aaron wanted me to stream me making shushido. So I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to try to hard farm tonight and see if I can do that. So that'll be a birthday present to me. And I also get to trigger Aaron, so it's also fun. Second thing is that for the next 2 months, I'm working overtime. So I'm going to try to make it work so that I can still be on show. But if not, I might not be around as much. So just to let you guys know, I'll probably pop in for like any big things that happen, but just to let you guys know in advance. So.
Oh, gotta go get that money so you can spend it in the gem store like our next person. Arlie, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Arlie82. I will be starting streaming again this week on Wednesday with WoW rating, and then I think I'm going to start up Banner Saga next weekend and play through that because I haven't played that yet. You can also find me on Instagram at MMOArley. So, hey.
Ooh.
Oh.
You socialite you. And you can find me at simply_Dale on Twitch and Twitter. And hopefully, if depending on how quick I get this video up, maybe I'll stream something tonight. Though with the holiday weekend, maybe stream something Sunday night and maybe Monday. All depends. Maybe I'll have to go find whoever took my rum. So who knows? But if you are just popping at the very end, we do highlight the show on Twitch, so you can watch it in full on Twitch. We also, if you prefer YouTube, we throw it up on YouTube. Just search MAAD Realms, 2 A's in MAAD, and should be the first one that pops up for you. Or just Talking Skritt. You should get it that way as well. But yeah, we put this up on YouTube on Sundays at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And also, if we do have a website, maadrealms.com. We put all of our we put the videos up there for all the stuff, and maybe other stuff down the road. But yeah, definitely check it out there if you prefer. And also, we go live on Saturdays at noon Wow, not noon Eastern. 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. I think everybody just got worried right there. They're like, wait, what? But yeah, thank you everybody for coming out, and we'll see everybody next time. Bye.
Bye, friends.
Yes.
Bye.